this is a review of units 1 and 2 from Henle, first year Latin. So the first thing we are going to review is sum es est, sum es est sum. It is the being verb. So I am, you are, he, she, or it is. Sum es est, sumus estis sunt. These are singular, and these are plural. Okay, singular first person, second person, and third person. Plural first person, plural second person, plural third person. Okay, I am, you are, he, she, or it is, we are, y'all are, they are. This is present tense, happening right now. Alright? Now these in the past tense are eran, eras, erat, éramos, eratis, erant. Okay? I was, you were, he, she, or it was. Y'all were, we were, y'all were, they were. Okay? Now this verb can be used as an expletive. There are rivers in Gaul. You'd use sunt. There was, and there was, if it's singular and plural. Okay? So you need to memorize these 12 verbs. Okay, now we're going to review nouns. What is a noun? A noun is a person, place, thing, or idea. Okay? A person like the mayor, a place like city, a thing like the table, and an idea like law or justice. Okay? Now in Latin there are 5 declensions of nouns. The first declension is feminine, with the exception of a few masculine nouns that wear feminine endings. And they're all jobs, like nauta, sailor, agricola, farmer, incola, settler, poeta, poet, and there's a couple others. The rest of them are feminine. So we have our noun cases, which we remember by never get drunk at all. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. Okay, I'm going to put singular on the left side and plural on the right. So for our first declension feminine endings, let's do, sorry, I got distracted. Let's do serva, female slave. Okay, serva, I, Now those are the singular endings. In the plural, I, autumn, is, us, is. Okay, now what do we use the nominative case for? The nominative case is used for the subject of the sentence, or for a predicate nominative, like the servant was Rosa. Rose was the servant. Rosa era serva, serva era Rosa. And you can switch the subject and the predicate because they're equal to each other. That's a predicate nominative. The genitive case we use to show possession.
Are you guys doing learning?
Yeah, we're doing a Latin review video.
Okay.
Genitive case shows possession. So if I wanted to say the room of the servant, I would say cubiculum servae. Okay? The dative case is for the indirect object when you give something to the servant. The accusative case is when it's the direct object of the sentence. I gave my daughter a servant, right? If the servant was the gift, I gave a servant. Okay, and then the ablative is the object of prepositions and some other uses. So those are what the 5 cases are for. You'll need to know what these are for your test. Okay, so the nominative is for the subject, genitive shows possession, the dative is the indirect object, accusative is direct object, and ablative is generally the object of prepositions, although there are some other uses as well. Okay, so that's first declension feminine. Then we have second declension, which we have both masculine and neuter. Okay, so for masculine, we can do ser was. It's us, e, o, e, is, os, is. Okay, those are the masculine endings. Neuter endings are e, o, a, is, is. Remember the neuter rule says that the nominative and the accusative always match, and the plural nominative is a. That's true for all the declensions, and it's true for Latin and Greek. Okay? Now, third declension endings. In the third declension, we have masculine and feminine, which are the same, and then we have neuter, which is just slightly different following the neuter rule. So, third declension endings, we have x, is, e, m, a. What does this x mean? It means that the nominative can vary. So if we have a word like ois, which means sheep, it can end in x, or in is. We can have a word like lex, which ends in x. We can have a word like, what's another third declension word? Pars, part, it ends in s. So we find the stem of these words by looking at the genitive. So ois, the stem is ov. Lex, legis, the stem is leg. Pars, partus, the stem is part. You have to look at the genitive of a third declension noun in order to find its stem. So let's finish declining. Let's do pars, partus. If we were to decline this in total, we'd have pars, partus, parti, partem, parte. And in the plural, partes, partium, partibus, partes, partibus. Okay? And then the neuter's the same, x, s, e, m, a, with the exception of the neuter rule. The nominative and accusative have to match. And then the plural is a.
Somebody's in the body. Somebody's in the dead body.
Okay? So they're the same with those two small exceptions.
Somebody is in the dead body.
Okay, now the fourth
Hey,
declension.
Mommy! Somebody's in the dead
The
body.
fourth declension is all masculine, and it's the U declension. It's okay, now. Just a minute. Okay? So we have the word portus, which means gate. Us,
Mommy, somebody's in the dead body.
we,
Mommy!
who.
Mommy!
And the plural, us,
Mommy!
ibus, us, ibus. So it's really similar to the other declensions, especially the third, except it uses a U wherever possible. I call it the U declension. And then our fifth declension is really similar to the fourth. It's all feminine, and it's the E declension. So, grace, rei, rei, rem, re. So in place of the U, we just use an I. I think the plural is rei, right? when you have a sentence, you have to make sure you put your noun in the right case. We don't learn all these cases for nothing.
Mommy!
Come here, Helen. You have to put your noun in the right case.
No!
So if you have the subject of a sentence, you need to make sure to put your noun
Mommy's
in the
teaching. What's
nominative
wrong?
case.
You need to go to the potty? Come on, who's in there?
Juju.
Is Julie in there? Come on.
If you have a preposition,
Julie, are you in there?
so we've learned 6 prepositions so far. If you have a preposition,
Julia's done.
you need to put your noun in the right case. Okay, so we've learned the preposition in.
Go.
We've learned post. Julia, I'm recording. And propter. These 3 prepositions take the accusative. Okay? Then we've learned 3 prepositions that take the ablative. Cum, in, and pro. Okay, so when you're using these prepositions, you have to put your noun in the right case. Now, what is a preposition? Preposition is a word that attaches another noun to a sentence and gives its relationship. So if I say, let's say, the Christians pray brothers. That doesn't make any sense, right? The Christians pray what brothers? The Christians pray for the brothers or on behalf of the brothers. That's a preposition that attaches brothers to the rest of the sentence. Okay? So let's look at in first. We can use in with the accusative or the ablative. If I say in montem or in monte, I put it in the accusative here, in the ablative here and in the accusative here. When I use in with the ablative, that means on the mountain or in the mountain. You're there and you're not moving. When I use in with the accusative, it implies motion. Into the mountain or onto the mountain. Okay? So this implies motion. Whenever you have a preposition that can take either one, if you use it with the accusative, that implies motion. Okay, the rest of these are fixed. They go with this case. So post montem is behind or after the mountain. Propter montem, on account of the mountain. Cum monte, with the mountain, and pro monte. Okay? Pro monte. Pro means in front of. When used with a regular noun. However, pro used with a person on account of, let's say, nauta. So this doesn't mean in front of the sailor. When it's used with a person, it's translated as on behalf of. So I might pray on behalf of the sailor. Okay? So pro used with a noun, a regular noun means in front of. Pro used with a person noun means on behalf of. Okay? So we also have some conjunctions. What is a conjunction? Conjunctions are joining words. You have said, I don't think we've done, yes we have said. Autem, itaque, and quod. Okay, so et is simple, it means and. Et is like,
Guys,
both and.
Peter's almost here. It's almost here. Can you feel it? These kids don't care.
Can you say that in Latin, please?
Where's
Sed
Phil
means
Ryan?
but. Autem means however. And it is called a post-positive. Do you know what that means? It always comes second in the sentence. This always needs to be the
He's
second
not
word
gonna
of the
drive around
sentence.
the world again.
I just saw him drive by.
Is that him?
Okay. Itakwe means therefore, and quod means because.
That's the ups guy.
Then we have the adverbs known and nook, which means not and now. And these are all in your book.
Everybody bark.
Okay. Now I want to cover adjectives really quickly.
You guys are barking like those. Bark like this.
Put adjectives in another